News, weather.
I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Ten years of Nigeria Info. 10 years of talking development. Be part of the Zoom event marking our 10th year anniversary with the team. Revamping basic education, a key factor in Nigeria's development. Keynote speaker, Sir Ikechi Wogu, co-founder and director of administration and people operations, Same Forest. Date, October 1st, 2021. Time, 11 a.m. To participate, click on the link on our post on Facebook and Instagram to register. For more details, visit at Nigeria Info PH on Facebook and Instagram. Be part of the Zoom event marking our 10 years of talking development.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me. I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. You're trying to insinuate all these people looting Nigeria's money?
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
Are you running late and can't make it down to our Room OC office to book your commercials? Don't worry, because you can take advantage of our marketing office inside Port Harcourt to book your commercials. It is located at Shop 9 Mediatrix of All Graces Plaza, opposite FIRS Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. You can also call our sales rep on 0817 001 8162. That's 0817 001 8162.
Our freedom depends on our proactive responsibilities.
Let's talk, act, and be about development.
With one voice, our potential is realized. This is your number one news, talk, and sports radio station. 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts
With Dio.
And you are welcome to today's edition of Hard Facts, originally live from your number one talk news and sports radio station, the 90.3 Nigeria Info in Herringport, Harcourt, Adedayo. It's 12 minutes past 3 p.m. And yes, it is the Friday edition. Something about it. Something about the Friday edition. Well, it's a wet Friday as well, but nothing, not even the rains, can dampen the Friday spirit. Welcome once again. And I hope that you've had a fine week so far. Mine has. Things are looking up somewhat. I hope they're looking up for you as well. Okay, so well, it doesn't mean that there isn't going to be some bad experiences. I lost a friend during the week. Remember when Stephanie Ekpebulu was here and we were talking about the International Day of Peace? That was some days ago. I remember her saying that peace is not the absence of conflict or something like that. So. Even when things are looking up, it doesn't mean that there isn't going to be you aren't going to have some issues, or there aren't going to be some concerns or challenges in your life, but because challenges are an integral part of life. You literally cannot navigate life without your fair share of challenges. But in spite of those challenges, are you making progress? And I believe that that's what counts the most. Welcome once again. From now till 7, we keep the conversation going. A few matters we are going to be discussing and talking about challenges and progress. So my concern with Nigeria, our nation, our dear country, is not that we're bedeviled by challenges, because every nation has its fair share as well. The question is, are we making progress as a nation? Are we making progress as a people? Therein lies the fundamental matter. And from all indications, the response to that may not be in the positive in our case, which is a major cause for concern. But we can change that narrative, not by leaving it in God's hands, not by remaining politically illiterate, Not by leaving them alone, let them do their thing. No, not by dancing around and shaking our behinds during commissioning and flagging offs and campaign rallies with t-shirts and face caps. No, but by electing credible persons into office, not because they have structure or they're on ground, not because they were shouting all kinds of expertise at campaign grounds, unintelligible gibberish actually, no, but because they know what they're doing. And we're convinced that they know what they're doing. And even when they do get into office, we demand accountability of them. We demand it. We're not begging for it. We're not pleading for it. We demand it of them. From now to 7, we keep the conversation going. A few matters on the agenda today. Let's take a quick look at what some of those matters are. Side comment in a moment. I think I've started with that already, in a manner of speaking. Random stories, random thoughts, playing out in my head. Can't help it. One of my shortcomings, I do believe, or one of my many shortcomings. I've expressed some thoughts in it all the way till about 4 p.m. No, just for a few minutes. After that, I've got a rant coming up. I'll express some thoughts on a major issue, and I'll take your thoughts and mine all the way till 4 p.m. Now, 4, we've got the business news coming up, and after that, CVR will be right back shortly as their continuous voter registration. There's been some sort of maybe temporary suspension. I used the word suspension when I spoke with my guest earlier today, as I invited him for the conversation, and he had a slight challenge or concern rather with my use of the word suspension. He said it's not been suspended. It was actually part of the timetable for the program. But this was on our news earlier. INEC says it will improve the continuous voter registration CVR exercise in its second quarter, which begins in October. Pardon me. INEC chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, told our correspondent that the commission has drawn lessons from the first quarter of the exercise, which ended this week. Let's hear what Festus Okoye had to say about the first quarter of the CVR, which has ended as we prepare and make way for the second quarter to commence.
We've learned very, very valuable lessons from this first quarter of the exercise, and we have also come to the realization that more people want to register, and that a lot of the youth prefer to use the online for purposes of registration. So by the time we deploy to the various registration areas, more people will have access to the equipment. So if we deploy to the registration area, the time we give for people to go and complete their biometrics will be shortened.
Mr. Okoye said the commission would involve more people to assist in the second quarter of the CVR exercise. Second quarter will start October 4 and end December 20. I'll be speaking with the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner here in River State, Oboy Fanga, at the 4 o'clock hour. What exactly is going on? What's with the suspension? And what lessons have we learned so far? Has the continuous voters registration been a success thus far? These and other related matters we'll discuss in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news, of course. Taking us to 5, we got the news update at 5 p.m. After that, SSS3 before tertiary education, at least so says the federal government right now. For those of you who like your children, who brag to your neighbors and church members that Sandra has got the triple promotion, double promotion. I'm telling you, that girl, I don't know where she got it from. The way she's just going, the way that girl is just going. They promoted her from primary 1 to primary 6. And I don't understand. Even her older brother Junior was promoted from GS2 to SS2. I don't get it really. And already in JSS3, he wrote the senior WAEC and he passed it. He's passed. Well, and you take pride in that. Well, the federal government is saying that you may no longer be able to take pride in such things any longer going forward due to some development or some circular ruled out by the federal government quite recently. And I'm trying to find the story right now. It's from the Punch newspaper. I wonder what's that opening up here. Where are you? Okay, I'll check it out here. So, the headline is, oh my. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to, just a moment. Okay, alright, I have it here. Yeah, I know I'd find it. So, FG bans SSS1, SSS2 students from taking external WASC, NECO, NAPTEB, gives important reason. Now, here's the story. The federal government has banned students in senior secondary school 1 and 2 from taking or applying for and taking external West African Senior School Certificate Examination, the National Examination Council, and the National Business and Technical Examinations Board. This was contained in a circular issued by the Federal Ministry of Education to principals of federal unity schools. It was titled in a circular with number FFV/blah blah blah and signed by the ministry's Director, Senior Secondary Education, Hajia Binta Abdul Kadir. A circular was confirmed by the Director of Press and Public Relations, Bem Gung, on Friday. The government threatened to expel any SSS 1 and 2 students who take the exams. Now, this, the Education Ministry said, would help to maintain decorum and boost standards of education in schools. And the circular reads, read, quote, the ministry's attention has been drawn to the flagrant disregard to its directive on the writing of external examinations such as NAPTEB, NTC and NBC, WASC, NECO, SICE by SS1 and SS2 students. Students who are involved in the practice find it difficult to settle down on serious studies. They become unruly and distract other students from achieving their goals. Any students caught to have written any of the above examinations in SS1 or SS2 classes will be expelled from the college. All students must write these examinations after they have been duly registered by the examination by the college. All students of Federal Unity College should adhere strictly to the content of this circular, and principals are advised to bring the content of this circular to the knowledge of all parents of the college. So let's talk about that for a bit. What do you make of this? We'll have that conversation in the 5 o'clock hour. Should SS1 and 2 students be allowed to take external examinations? Or do you think they should? You think the ministry is right? They should wait till SS3 to be able to write these examinations. I'll get you take that after the news of Digit 5. Headlines 5:30. Major news at 6 p.m. Open season is up after that. If you missed out on contributing to any matter discussed on the show or mentioned by myself during my side comments, for example, I'll take your thoughts at that time till about 7 when the show comes to an end. So pretty much that's hard facts for today. Any changes you will find out, simply stay tuned. So we get things going now with today's side comments. Random stories, random thoughts that I came across that caught my attention. Now, a stakeholder in Oyigbo local government area, Victor Okpute, says the construction work by the state government and some of the roads in Oyigbo have contributed to the flood in the area. Now, speaking with our correspondent, he said when the various roads were constructed, drainages were channeled into homes. And that's what Victor Okpute had to say about this hideous, very disturbing development indeed. Just a moment while I whip that one up. 24-21, I think we have it, do we? Absolutely, here we go.
Heavy flood have taken over the Oyibo metropolitan area. The old Port Harcourt Road, the one they call Omundino Camp Road, the governor just built. And the Umusia Road, where they call Omuwari and the Omundino environment. And also, this Mbano Camp Junction, that is at Oyibo here, the road connecting the old Port Harcourt Road. Each time it rains, floods ravage those environment. The reason is because the flood is moving to nowhere. The result of the flood is because the old Port Harcourt Road this current government did in Oyibo, there was no proper drainage that we requested that the drainage moves to Imo River. And the River State government also built the Oyibo Eleme Road, the Umosea area. Proper drainage was not done. The work they did there, they collapsed drainage into people's residents.
I'm quite certain, and I have absolutely no doubt about this, that if we were to investigate or simply ask folks out there who are not honorables or excellencies or members of the highly regarded Ministry of Works in the state, or they're not engineers or professionals in the field of road construction or drainage for that matter, they will say the same thing in several other parts. Yes, we've always had floods. I mean, From the time I was a child, even in Lagos, we've always had floods. But the situation is getting worse. And it's not just because people are emptying their refuse in drainages, which, by the way, is also government's fault. Let's not forget that, very important. But there's something that goes wrong with construction of roads in this part. It's almost like the contractors and government, by extension, does not care about the drainages. It's simply about the road. It's about flagging off the road. It's about commissioning the road. It's about the hype and the dancing and the thanking of His Excellency that he has done something that I had never seen before. In fact, better than sliced bread. It's beyond that. And I have witnessed firsthand. I remember in my early days in Port Harcourt, sometime 2014, I suppose, and this was an NDDC project. And before that project, this particular community, I don't remember where it was again, but I was taken there, they didn't experience floods. And then there was some NDDC project. Remarkably, the project included a drainage. Remarkably. And after this project, or midway through the project, the flood was terrible. People literally had to move out of their homes. It was a terrible situation, really. And a lot of that is happening right now as well. So I hope the state government will look into this and not just blame our citizens for emptying their refuse in drainages, and that's why we're having the flash floods all over Port Harcourt as we're having right now. That's not the case. The construction work going on across the state, across different parts of Port Harcourt, definitely is partly, if not greatly, responsible for the flash floods that we are witnessing even now, especially in certain areas. We need to look into that. We must look into that. At least the dancing is over right now, even though some commissioning will happen soon and we will dance again. But let's look into the floods as well. Let's look into the drainages. What's going on with that? What's going on with that? I don't advise any commissioner to do that. I will not advise any commissioner to look into it. But if His Excellency can look into it, please, commissioners, once again, please do not look into it. Do not call Julius Berger or any other construction company to ask about this. It may be the final official call that you make. Please don't do that. All right. And over a week after he was abducted, expatriate, kidnapped on the Trans-Calabari construction site in Rivers State, remains in captivity. Speaking on this, President of the Ijaw National Congress, Benjamin Akaba, urged the abductors of the expatriate to remember the urgent need for development in the region and release the victim unconditionally. I join my voice with all other well-meaning individuals to speak to the kidnappers. I know you listen to Nigeria Info as well. And you also like to be informed, I suppose. Do release the man. He's done you no harm at all. He's done you no harm. If you think that you don't have jobs, if you think bad governance has affected you in poverty, wait for 2023. Kidnappers, register. INEC is conducting continuous voters registration right now. The second quarter will commence sometime in October, I suppose. Register, kidnappers, get your PVC. 2023, vote the right person into office. So that person will open up the economy, industries will thrive, businesses will spring up, and you will get jobs. Don't kidnap people. Because if you continue doing this, the police will get you. The police, Nigeria police will get. And when the River State Police come and get you, you are finished. You know what I mean. And they will parade you. Illegally, by the way, but they will parade you. And they will call our reporters. Our reporters will go there. And there will be cameras, and they will say that they caught you with 4 AK-47 rifles, 1,243 rounds of live ammunition, axes, and charms. By that time, by the way, your eyes will be swollen. Your eyes will be swollen and you're bleeding all over because they have dealt with you. Your fundamental rights have been completely eroded. Even though you are a criminal, you're a kidnapper, you do have rights. But I don't think our gallant officers will remember that. They will deal with you. And then as reporters are thrusting their midgets and recorders in your face, trying to get a scoop that they can send to their editors, either for the evening news or to be published the next day in their papers, you'll be looking morose. Looking morose. and asking yourself, how did I get here? Why did I do this? Which kind of life can be this? And then when they ask you, when reporters ask you, when Soibi Oluware asks you, so why did it make you do it? Why did you do it? You will say is hunger. It's hunger. I be won't feed my family. I don't know. This is my first time. My brother just called me, say make I help them drive car. I don't even know, say kidnapping they won't do. I don't know. I just want me. So and then so he will ask you. So what do you want? What do you think that they're supposed to do to you now? So he will ask you that. So don't worry. And then you will say, make governor, I beg, make them just forgive me. Let them just forgive me. I don't know. Now devil work. A devil handwork. Just release the worker, the expatriate. Let him go. And get your PVC and vote 2023. And get a decent job that will make your children proud of you. Alright, someone here via WhatsApp says, you failed in reminding the governor of important issues. It's your job as an advisor to the governor. Well, I'm looking into that. I do, sometimes remind His Excellency of critical matters still. I'd say. Good afternoon. Please tell people to be careful with snake bites. To be careful. A snake bit my brother's. Pardon me, I think I'll start again. Good afternoon. Please tell people to be careful. A snake bit my brother's wife while trying to move things out of the flooded house. That's from my dad. Thank you for that. So, everyone, please be on the lookout. Please be careful. As the floods get into your businesses, into your homes, or as you wade through water on the way to your house or some other destination, please be on the lookout for reptiles, snakes and the likes. I'm sure they're going to be around a lot these days with the floods. So, please look into that and stay safe. All right, stay safe, please. Radha, thank you for that once again, and I hope your brother's wife is well. What happened to her, Radha? If you can send a message. I hope your brother's wife is well. Wow, terrible. So I think that's going to be it for the side comments. I suppose I go for a commercial break right now, and when I return, I've got a rant coming up, something in my mind. I'm expressing some thoughts on it, and you're welcome to express your thoughts and mine all the way to 40. Please stay with us.
We give the facts.
News entirely.
We give the evidence. Just to keep you informed.
News, weather. I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info. And now, hard facts. Hard facts with Dayo.
Welcome back. It is Hard Fact, 90.3 Nigeria Info and here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dayo. 27 to go before 4 p.m. I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something in my mind. I'll be expressing a few thoughts on it, and you're very welcome to express your thoughts in mine. And disagreeing is very much allowed, by the way. It's on the table as well. Let's see. So, you know how I constantly say that in Nigeria, one of the most remarkable things about people saddled with responsibilities in Nigeria is that they don't know the one thing that they are paid to know. I don't know if you're following me here. A person, for example, in Nigeria, has been elected to office or appointed to some position of authority. You know, responsibility has been placed on that person. The one thing, if there were one thing that the person is paid to do, the reason that person occupies that office, while the person earns a salary, the person will not know it. Now, it doesn't matter that everybody else in the entire world might know it, but in Nigeria, that person just somehow will find a way, devise a means of not knowing. It's kind of like the police will tell you, even though the entire world, and even a 2-year-old child, all 2-year-old children inclusive, know where their men stand to collect, extort motorists or road users. Everybody knows, except the police, whose job it is to know where crimes are being committed, including crimes by their gallant officers. Just like that, you know, how that people in government do not know the one thing that they're being paid to know. It's quite remarkable. It's one of the tricks of the ace up the sleeves of people with responsibility in Nigeria. They just, it's remarkable, you know. It's just remarkable. You just have to give them a round of applause when you think about it. How they are able to accomplish this incredible feat. Here's an example here. Now, this is not today's rant, but an example, and it's going to tie into today's rant. An example of Nigerian officials not knowing what they should know. Here's a story in today's Punch. Not today, I think, but was it yesterday? Yesterday. Insurgency, destruction worse than imagined. That's according to Lai Mohammed. Here's the story, very quickly. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has lamented the rate of destruction of infrastructure in Borno State and other parts of Nigeria. According to him, the destructions are worse than he imagined. He said this at a town hall meeting in Maiduguri on Thursday, according to a copy of a speech obtained by our correspondent. The minister said, quote, "I must confess that based on the 2 town hall meetings held earlier, the situation regarding the wanton destruction of public infrastructure is worse than we had imagined." You're not supposed to imagine this. You're supposed to know. Government, this is the federal government we're talking about. You're supposed to know. You're supposed to know the level of damage. You're supposed to know the level of destruction. You're not supposed to imagine it. No. You should know before the people even know. You should know to what extent the damage is beyond what the people even think they know. Beyond the people who even live there, beyond the knowledge of the people who experience the damage. Government should be the first to know. But not in our case. So, that is why I believe that we constantly, this is just an example, that is why I believe we constantly have to remind government in Nigeria, because they don't know, actually. They really don't know. And when they say we don't know, I think it's true. I think they really don't know. And I tend to believe strongly, for example, that the government maybe really doesn't know how bad things are in our healthcare sector. For example, maybe they really don't know. And that's why a minister would say that doctors should go. We have enough doctors in the country that they can go. But terrible or concerning story here in the Punch newspaper, UK employs 353 Nigerian doctors in 100 days. The UK has employed... They employ more doctors than the number of days that we have from Nigeria. Here's the story. At least 353 Nigerian doctors have been registered to work in the United Kingdom in the last 100 days. Checks on the website of the General Medical Council, the body which licenses and maintains the official register of medical practitioners in the UK, show that the GMC licensed at least 353 Nigerian trained doctors between June 10, 2021 and September 20, 2021. The data also showed that between July 24, 2020 and September 21, 2021, about 862 Nigerian trained doctors were licensed in the UK despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Overall, 8,737 doctors who obtained their degrees in Nigeria currently practice in the UK. Over 8,000, almost 9,000 doctors. Nigerians, they were not trained in the UK. No. They were not trained in the US. No. They were not trained in Cuba. No. Or in France or in Ghana. No. They were trained in Nigeria. Almost 9,000 of them are now practicing in the UK. In about 100 days, about 353 of them recruited. Saudi Arabia came quite recently. Doctors, consultants, professors were queuing up to leave this country to go practice medicine in Saudi Arabia. Resident doctors are on strike. Consultants are gearing up to go on strike. The Joint Health Sector Union, Johesu, those ones is inevitable, they will strike. And we have ministers and excellencies who say it is well, the administration has earmarked, this administration has invested, this administration. No other government has done what this administration, and that's true. No other government has done this. It's true sometimes. You need to just read between the lines of the meanings of what they're saying. When they say no other government has, it is true. No other government has led us to the situation we are right now, in a manner of speaking. This is quite new to all of us as well. Or at least some aspects of it are. So it seems to me that many times, or sometimes at least, they really don't know how bad things are. You have doctors who are not paid for a whole year. A doctor not paid for a whole year. Spent years in the university, medical school, or college of medicine. And then there's the housemanship, and then there's this, and the several examinations. I had friends growing up who were in med school. They literally don't have a life. It's classroom, hostel for those who are into religion, fellowship, classroom, hostel, fellowship, classroom, hostel. They're constantly reading something, constantly preparing for some examination or the other. With a white lab coat to know and stethoscope around their neck, and there's nothing in their pockets. A terrible situation indeed. It's a terrible situation. But maybe they really don't know, and that's why we constantly have to remind them as to how bad things are. On that note, I end my run. Thanks to listening. I hope you were not bored. Let's get your take on mine. Numbers to the same lines are open. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. We are live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. WhatsApp is on 0809 0306416. Oh, by the way, we're also live on YouTube. Check out our YouTube page on YouTube page. Just search for Nigeria Info PH on YouTube, and you can also get the conversation going over there, I suppose. Well, let's get your take right now. I've got Samuel on the line from Ada George. Hello, Samuel. You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yes, Dayo. Good afternoon.
Hi, go on.
Dayo, there is no way our government will know what is happening in our society when they live in Asorok, when they live in restricted areas, when they don't go to the same hospital, when they want to shop, they go to Dubai. It's so unfortunate in our country that even our doctors, people whom we have trained, other people are making use of them. And the government is even threatening, if you don't work, we will not pay you, instead of looking for a way forward. So it's so unfortunate, and I think we will have to change the narrative. We have to go and get our PVCs and see what we can do in the nearest election. That's just my take, Dayo. It's so painful.
Quite so.
Have a nice time.
You as well. Carly from Eagle Island, good day, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Adedayo.
You're welcome.
I just want to make a brief comment on your ranting. It's quite unfortunate that we as a country, we are where we are. And it is as a result of the people who have elected as our leaders. It's quite unfortunate. Going through your rant, I am almost shedding tears that a profession that is seen as important as the economy, because without medical doctors, the economy cannot work. The government can close their eyes and close their hearts and allow these people to be on strike for close to 2 months plus. And the government is not doing anything. It's like we are in a feast. We are in a trap. But I believe that 2023, as it comes, this is going to be an eye-opener for us. And Nigerian citizens, we must do everything to get it right. I am seeing this thing as a problem of the elite, connivance of the elite. The elites are doing everything to ensure that they constantly perpetuate the common persons to abject poverty, and this is one of the signs. If it is happening to the professionals, people will refer to as highly qualified, manpower. This thing is happening to them. What is likely to happen to an ordinary man on this street?
What is the fate of the market woman, or the mechanic, the organizer?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, Carl, great to hear from me. I do have a commercial break to attend to right now. Can we put a pause on the calls? Thank you very much. But before then, via WhatsApp, Dio, and yet we're witnessing incessant defections to APC for their wonderful performance over the last 6 years. You can imagine the kind of people leading this country. We for Nigeria, that's on Bob. I expected the Minister of Labour to have flooded the federal hospitals with the excess doctors Ngige said he has. That's from Lucky. From Samsonbury Pele, Ngige and his masters think doctors are bought at Burakiri Gari Market. Soon, London doctors will go on strike, and then we will see where our excellency will go for a checkup. Good day, Dio. I never knew it was that bad until you mentioned the number of Nigerian trained doctors employed in the UK. Suddenly, my knees knocked. We've never had it so bad. How do we recover from this? That's from Newton Akire. Good day, Dio. It seems Nigerians are disturbing the federal government too much about this doctor's issue, but the government should not worry, because by the time they will be ready for the doctors to return to work, they all might have they all might have gone out of this country to places they are respected. Sok knew who said that. Go for that break now. Discussions continue right afterwards. Do please stay tuned.
This is an infomercial on 92.3 Nigeria Info. And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dio.
Okay, Mark, I still had Facts in Nigeria Info and Dio 10 minutes ago before 4 p.m. I did deliver a rant a while ago, as is customary, and I'm getting your take on mine at the moment. The inspiration for today's rant, what's that story again? UK employs 353 Nigerian doctors in 100 days. And even during the COVID, at the heat or at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, between July 24, 2020 and September 21, 2021, about 862 Nigeria-trained doctors were licensed in the UK as well, despite the COVID-19 pandemic. And yet we have people in government who tell us that we have more than enough doctors and they can go anywhere they want if they want. And we've got a terrible situation with the welfare of doctors in our country. Resident doctors on strike, consultants thinking of going on strike. Joe Jesus are just warming up for their own strike right now. Your take on mine. 0817-923-0002 or 0003 or 0007 numbers to call. WhatsApp on 0809-030-6416. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info page as well. Via Facebook, Abdul Ghani Jimo goes, very unfortunate situation we found ourselves. But if I may ask, these doctors who decided to leave Nigeria for greener pastures, that if other professional people also leave the country to work for foreign countries, what will happen? Well, Ghani, when that happens, we will find out what will happen. All right. Good day from Delta State. Michael Lucas goes, I always enjoy your show. Thank you. UK should employ all the doctors in Nigeria. It's a really welcome development. Kudos, Dio. Justice Justin goes, good day. I believe today's rant is another of those rants that leaves us as a people sometimes speechless of how the rest of us can't join this ranting in our little corners to also register our own piece of ranting. If this can lead to any change. Yes, it can actually. You know, you can rant in different ways. You can rant by asking Excellency, Oga, how far? You know, when they tell you, you say, no, we don't want that. Ask questions, demand accountability. You can rant by getting your PVC. You can rant by going out to 2023 to exercise your franchise and vote the right people into office, not just because they are on grant or they have structure, whatever that means. Mike from Rumukrishi, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bayo, good evening.
Hi, Mike.
Bayo, how would they know when all their children all their children are not in Nigeria? Probably anyone that has the little call, they will send them abroad for medical checkup. So it's not possible for them to know what is going on. I don't blame them because they don't have their own people at heart. My mom used to tell me to say, now person with snake bites, if you see what gecko go wrong. So anybody with snake never bites, if in the see what gecko, if in the say another thing, the person will see that all the is just a pet, doesn't have anything to do. But
all right, Mike. I'd say, sliding over to WhatsApp, there's no sincerity in these so-called government officials. They've lost touch completely with reality. They live in a cocoon and definitely cannot appreciate reality. Imagine the humongous money they cart them for doing nothing. No, for destroying whatever we have left, if any. That's from Iman Gold. It's quite unfortunate we find ourselves in this kind of mess in our beloved nation. Our leaders don't care about ourselves, but only themselves. That's from Mihai Chuku. Hi, Dio. I came to an arguable conclusion that Honourable Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, went to school under a scholarship, that he didn't have time. He would ask of fees from his parents, and they would tell him there's no money. I'm sure he would speedily sort out the issues with the resident doctors. Okay, I'm not sure I follow that. The Nigerian government will never know anything that's going on in the country. They ought to be managing. That is the reason the very next door neighbors who are killers are termed by the government as unknown gunmen. They will never know. That is the change Nigerians asked for, as from Pastor Smart. Good afternoon. How can our government know what's happening when His Royal Majesty leaves in PH to rule his people? His councillors and chairman leaving PH, governors in Abuja, while our president rules us from his hospital bed in London. You see, when one does something very well, people praise him. If he lies better than others, they praise him and go for professional course to lie more, not minding his age and what he will be remembered for. Ubong from Woji said that. Though I've come to understand that this is who we really are, and believe me, we're still called on this show talking about how we how to get it right in 2027. But you know what, I've really come to agree that this is who we really are. More doctors will go very soon. That's my mistake. No, it's not who we are. It's who our leaders are, no doubt about that. Or at least a great number of them. It's not who we are. We are brilliant people. We are highly intelligent. We are sophisticated. We know stuff, you know. And that's why these doctors, the UK is grabbing them. I mean, once again, these doctors trained here. They're intelligent. They're smart. They know their stuff. And the people who taught them are very brilliant as well. And that's why the UK is absorbing them, and that's why Australia is absorbing them, that's why Canada is absorbing them, and that's why Saudi Arabia is absorbing them. And those figures are just the ones who've gone to the UK only. We're not adding the US yet. We're not adding Australia yet. We're not adding Canada yet. I imagine if we did that, the figures would be absolutely criminal. I mean, not criminal for the doctors and the families, obviously. Via Facebook, Prince Bliss goes, it's a good move. I hope they're not sponsored by the opposition country. That's a thing. That's a thing. Maybe those countries are trying to distract our excellencies and demarcate Nigeria. Ipering from Port Harcourt goes, you must be sponsored by the opposition to mislead the public about the change administration. What do you expect when the topmost leadership of the ruling party gets their medication in the abroad and visits each other, take pictures together? If this is allowed to continue, Nigerians may be conditioned to get Panadol medication abroad. Woyike goes, I do not blame the doctors who left the country to the UK because our government have failed to cater for its workforce, hence they should hide their face in shame. Invariably, they're happy for the doctors leaving the shores of this country and working in the UK. After all, they virtually live in those countries and indirectly they benefit. Oh, that's another way to look at it. Now, that's another way to look at it. Now, since honorables and excellencies are going to go to the UK anyway to receive their medication or to receive medical treatment or attention, so maybe the plot is to get the doctors, the good hands, to go to the UK and be there already. So they will just go to the UK to meet them there. That could be it. That could be it. You may be onto something. You may be onto something here. I didn't see that one. You may be onto something here. Andy goes, well, it's unfortunate, but the truth is a group of people can go and muscle the FG and grab money, as who is lurking on the sidelines. What we need is a complete salary harmonization for every Nigerian citizen. Okay, so that's a wrap for now, though. I do have to go for a break. We got business news top of the hour at 4 p.m. After that, what's going on with the continuous voter registration? What the status with that? What lessons have we learned so far? These and other matters come up in a moment after the business news. I'll be speaking with the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in Rivers State, Oborofanga. Do please stay with us.